Have you ever wondered why some people seem to effortlessly attract the exact person they want into their lives, while others spend years feeling invisible, overlooked, and unheard? Deep down, you may have felt that longing, the ache of wanting someone specific to notice you, to value you, to choose you above all else. And maybe you've asked yourself late at night, why not me? Why can't I be the one they can't stop thinking about? That question burns inside because it isn't just about love or desire. It's about something much deeper. The hunger to be seen, to be understood, and to finally experience the connection your heart has been craving for so long. The truth is, attracting a specific person is not about luck, and it's not about pretending to be someone you're not. It's about unlocking a shift inside yourself so powerful that the energy around you changes. People feel it. They sense it. And the one person you've been waiting for begins to notice what makes you unforgettable. The biggest secret is this: the journey starts within. You don't attract someone by chasing. You attract them by becoming magnetic. And magnetism is born from confidence, clarity, and unshakable belief in your worth. Think about it. Every time you've tried to force someone's attention, it only slipped further away. That's because pressure repels, but alignment, confidence, and inner calm draw others in. Imagine what it would feel like to walk into a room and know without doubt that your presence alone is enough. Imagine not needing to prove yourself, not needing to beg for love, but instead radiating such certainty in your own value that the specific person you desire feels it on a deep, unexplainable level. This is not fantasy. It's psychology, it's energy, and it's the reality you are about to learn how to create. Right now, you might be doubting whether this is truly possible. You might be carrying pain from rejection, silence, or missed chances. But stay with me, because what you're about to discover will transform how you see yourself and in turn how others see you. The reason to keep listening is simple. By the end of this journey, you won't just understand how to attract a specific person. You'll understand how to command respect, love, and attention in every area of your life. That is the reward waiting for you. Freedom from chasing, freedom from insecurity, and the powerful feeling of finally being chosen, not by chance, but by the magnetic energy you've built inside. So here's the promise. As you listen, you will uncover secrets that shift your mindset, strengthen your self-belief, and awaken the confidence that makes attraction inevitable. Each step will show you how to create a vibration that calls out to the person you desire without games, without manipulation, and without fear. This is about stepping into the most powerful version of yourself, the version that naturally pulls people closer, the version that doesn't settle, the version that finally experiences the love and connection you've been waiting for. Stay here. Stay focused. Because what follows will not only open the door to the one person you long for, it will open the door to the life you've always dreamed of living. And once you see how powerful you truly are, you will never again wonder if you are enough. You will know. And that changes everything. What draws someone to you is not the perfection of your appearance, nor the words you carefully plan, but the invisible signal you send out with every thought, every belief, every ounce of energy you carry. Human beings are wired to pick up on these signals without even realizing it. Science calls it emotional contagion, the silent transfer of mood, confidence, and certainty from one person to another. When you believe you are worthy, when you carry yourself with quiet strength, people feel it without a word spoken. And the person you desire is no exception. They cannot help but notice when your energy shifts, because attraction is not built on words alone, it's built on presence. If you have ever walked into a space and felt drawn to someone before they even said a single word, you already understand this truth. Something inside you just clicked. You couldn't explain why, but you wanted to know more about them. That is the same magnetic field you can create around yourself. It begins when you stop looking outward for validation and start generating your own inner certainty. This is where the real power lies. When you stop asking, "Will they like me?" and begin to declare, "I am someone worth being chosen," the balance changes. You are no longer waiting for their approval. You are allowing them to step into your world, a world that already holds value and strength. The most magnetic people are not those who never doubt themselves. They are the ones who choose to believe in themselves anyway. They may feel fear, but they act with courage. They may feel uncertain, but they project calm. This is not pretending, it is training your mind and body to lead instead of follow. And when you lead your own energy, others naturally follow. Your specific person will feel a pull they cannot rationalize, a quiet force telling them you are not like anyone else. Think about how much energy you've spent worrying, analyzing, replaying conversations, wondering if you did something wrong. That energy only feeds doubt, and doubt pushes people away. But when you redirect that energy into confidence, self-respect, and clarity, it becomes undeniable. You stop trying to prove yourself, and you start to radiate a new signal, I am already enough. This is the energy that shifts dynamics. This is the energy that draws people closer. And here's what makes this powerful. Once you begin to embody this new signal, you don't just attract the attention of one person. You attract opportunities, friendships, respect, and admiration everywhere you go. The specific person you desire is important, yes, but what you will discover is that your value is not tied to them. Your value stands on its own. And when you live from that truth, the person you long for feels it in their bones. They feel safe with you. They feel intrigued by you. They feel the depth of your presence because you are no longer reaching out in desperation. You are standing strong in certainty. So imagine this shift happening within you. Imagine walking through life with a steady confidence that cannot be shaken by rejection or silence. Imagine no longer chasing, but instead allowing what is meant for you to be pulled into your orbit. That is the reward of this path. Not only attracting the specific person you desire, but also stepping into a version of yourself so magnetic, so powerful, that love, respect, and connection flow to you naturally. This is the signal you were born to send, and once you master it, everything changes. The secret to becoming magnetic is not found in trying to control another person's choices, but in mastering the choices you make about yourself. Attraction is not about forcing love. It is about embodying a state of being so aligned, so confident, and so radiant that the person you desire cannot help but feel drawn to you. Your thoughts, your emotions, your actions, they form an atmosphere around you. And that atmosphere is what determines whether people feel pulled toward you or turned away. Every time you focus on fear, insecurity, or lack, you create resistance. But every time you choose faith, self-respect, and inner calm, you create connection. Human psychology has proven that people are attracted to certainty. When you are grounded in who you are, you become the anchor in a world where most people are drifting. Think about how rare that is. Most people doubt themselves, hesitate, second-guess every move. But when you stand in clarity, you immediately stand out. Your specific person may not even consciously understand why, but they will feel it deeply. Certainty is rare. Confidence is magnetic. Inner peace is irresistible. This is why the real work of attracting someone begins long before you speak to them. It begins the moment you decide to take control of your inner world. Ask yourself, what energy do you want them to feel when they think of you? Do you want them to sense anxiety, fear, and pressure? Or do you want them to feel curiosity, admiration, and comfort? The answer is obvious, but the only way for them to feel that is for you to feel it first. You cannot give what you do not embody. If you want them to see you as valuable, you must see yourself as valuable. If you want them to feel calm and safe around you, you must learn to live in calm and safety within yourself. This is not about faking confidence, it is about becoming it. The transformation begins with awareness. Pay attention to the stories you repeat in your mind. Do you tell yourself you are not enough, that they could never want you, that you are somehow lacking? Every time you think those thoughts, you weaken your signal. But when you shift the story, when you remind yourself that you are deserving of love, that you bring unique value, that your presence is worth remembering, you strengthen it. Over time, these new stories reshape how you feel, how you act, and how you show up. And when you show up differently, people treat you differently. Your specific person will feel the change. They will feel the strength in your silence, the confidence in your presence, the calm in your energy. Without needing to explain, you will communicate a powerful truth. You are no longer waiting for love to define you. You already know your worth, and that self-assurance becomes irresistible. It's human nature. People chase what feels steady, what feels grounded, what feels alive. So picture the version of you who lives this way. Picture the you who no longer doubts, no longer chases, no longer questions whether you are enough. That version of you is not a dream, it is a decision. And once you decide to embody it, the attraction you seek stops being something distant and uncertain. It becomes inevitable, because you have become the kind of person who does not wait for love. You draw it in, naturally, powerfully, and without effort. The energy you radiate does not just influence how others see you, it shapes how you see them. When you stand in self-worth, you stop placing anyone above you. You stop treating the person you desire as someone on a pedestal, and instead begin to view them as human, just like you. This shift is powerful because the moment you stop idolizing someone, you stop giving away your strength. You begin to meet them at eye level where true connection can exist. Attraction grows in equality, not in imbalance. When you believe you are already enough, you no longer chase, you no longer beg, you no longer shrink yourself to fit into someone else's life. Instead, you expand, and they feel the pull of that expansion. What makes someone unforgettable is not perfection, but authenticity. It is the courage to be real. People are drawn to those who carry themselves without masks, who are not afraid to show their true self without fear of judgment. That authenticity becomes magnetic because it signals confidence, and confidence signals safety. The person you want is not seeking someone flawless. They are seeking someone real, someone whose presence allows them to relax and breathe. When you embody that truth, you create an energy they cannot ignore. There is a psychological principle called self-fulfilling prophecy. What you expect, you create. If you expect rejection, you unconsciously act in ways that invite it. If you expect to be overlooked, you present yourself small, hesitant, and doubtful. But if you expect connection, if you expect attraction, if you expect to be chosen, your behavior shifts in subtle yet powerful ways. You stand taller. You speak with more conviction. You allow your natural charm to come through without fear. These micro signals are picked up instantly by the human brain. Without saying a word, you declare, I am someone worth knowing. I am someone worth choosing. Think about how freeing it is to no longer live in fear of what they might think, but instead to radiate certainty in what you know about yourself. Fear says, what if I'm not enough? Confidence says, they are lucky to experience me. Fear closes doors. Confidence opens them. And the energy you choose to live in today is the same energy that will shape your tomorrow. This is not about manipulation. This is not about pretending to be something you are not. This is about uncovering the truth of your value and allowing it to shine so brightly that it becomes impossible to ignore. The person you desire will feel this difference. They will sense the calm in your presence, the unshakable belief in your tone, the quiet power in your energy. They will be drawn not because you are trying to pull them, but because you have stopped pushing them away with fear and doubt. So let your heart imagine the freedom of this shift. Imagine standing before them with no tension, no nervousness, no desperate thoughts racing through your mind. Imagine simply being fully present, fully certain, fully alive. That version of you already exists. It has only been buried under layers of doubt and fear. And the moment you decide to let that version rise, the world around you will begin to change. Attraction will no longer be something you chase. It will become the natural response to the strength, authenticity, and power you embody. Every connection you desire begins with the relationship you hold with yourself. If you crave loyalty, passion, and attention, you must first give those things inward. When you treat yourself with love, you teach others how to love you. When you respect yourself, you set the standard for how others will treat you. When you honor your own needs, you send a message that you will not accept less than what you deserve. The person you want is not searching for someone who bends and breaks to earn affection. They are searching for someone who radiates strength, who knows their worth, and who stands tall in their own truth. This is where the deeper work begins. Attraction is not sustained by physical beauty alone. It is sustained by emotional gravity. People are drawn to those who have a center of power inside them, a core that does not waver with circumstances. When you live in alignment with your own values, when you nurture your own dreams, when you invest in your own growth, you create that gravity. And the moment you create it, others feel it. Your specific person feels it. They sense that you are not chasing, you are not waiting, you are not depending on them to complete you. Instead, you are already whole, and that wholeness becomes irresistible. Consider the law of consistency. Psychologists have shown that human beings are attracted to patterns of stability. We crave what feels reliable. If your emotions swing wildly with every text, every glance, every silence, you become unpredictable. But when your inner state remains steady, no matter what happens, you become a source of calm in a chaotic world. And calm is magnetic. The one you desire will lean toward you because your presence feels like safety. This is why mastering yourself is the key. It gives you the power to remain grounded no matter what happens externally. Every doubt you feed creates distance. Every fear you hold on to builds resistance. But every time you choose belief over doubt, love over fear, calm over chaos, you increase your magnetic pull. Attraction is not built in one grand gesture, it is built in small choices repeated over time. The choice to speak to yourself with kindness, the choice to stand tall even when you feel nervous, the choice to believe that you are worthy even when nothing around you reflects it yet. These choices build a frequency so strong that the specific person you desire cannot help but tune into it. Imagine the difference between a flame that flickers in the wind and a fire that burns steady and unshakable. One fades at the slightest gust. The other grows stronger, commanding attention, radiating warmth, impossible to ignore. You are that fire when you choose consistency, when you choose self-respect, when you choose inner alignment. And just as no one can stand near a steady flame without feeling its heat, no one can stand near your energy without being moved by it. So let yourself step into that fire. Let yourself commit to becoming the source of love, strength, and certainty you have been searching for outside. When you embody this, you stop waiting for attraction to happen. You become the force that makes it inevitable, and the person you long for will not just notice you. They will feel drawn to you, compelled by something they cannot explain, because deep down they will recognize what you have become, someone unforgettable, someone magnetic, someone who no longer chases love but embodies it. What makes you magnetic is not the attention you chase, but the energy you hold when no one is watching, the moments when you are alone, when doubts whisper in your mind, when silence feels heavy. Those are the moments that shape your vibration. If you collapse into fear and believe you are not enough, that frequency will radiate outward. But if you stand tall even in solitude, if you choose to affirm your worth and honor your presence, you create a signal so powerful that others can feel it without understanding why. The person you want will not just notice your external actions, they will respond to the energy you cultivate in private. This is why inner alignment is non-negotiable. You cannot mask insecurity for long. Sooner or later, it leaks out in your tone, your body language, your reactions. But when you strengthen yourself from within, when you truly know your value, you don't have to perform. You don't have to hide. Your confidence becomes natural, effortless, unshakable. And it is this authenticity, this quiet but undeniable strength that draws people closer. The one you desire will sense it the same way you sense warmth when standing near the sun. You don't question it. You simply feel it. Every human being is wired to seek emotional safety. We crave people who make us feel grounded, seen, and secure. When your energy radiates self-trust, you automatically provide that safety. You show that you are not desperate for approval, that you are not dependent on another person for your happiness, that you are already whole. That wholeness is magnetic because it promises freedom. It tells the person you want that they can lean on you without being consumed, that they can love you without being drained, that they can admire you without fearing you will collapse without their attention. That is what makes someone unforgettable. Not perfection, not performance, but strength in stillness. But strength in stillness does not mean silence. It means that when you choose to speak, your words carry weight because they come from a place of certainty. It means that when you give love, It is not given out of fear of loss, but out of abundance. It means that when you show interest, it feels genuine, not forced. The energy behind your actions is what people respond to, far more than the actions themselves. The right energy turns simple words into unforgettable moments. The right energy turns a glance into a spark, and here lies the ultimate truth. The person you want is not drawn to neediness, they are drawn to light. They are drawn to the person who knows who they are, who walks with purpose, who shines regardless of whether anyone is watching. That is what you are capable of becoming right now. Not by changing who you are, but by uncovering the strength and certainty already within you. So ask yourself, what energy do you want to live in today? Will you live in fear, waiting for love to validate you, or will you choose to rise, to affirm your worth, and to radiate the kind of energy that cannot be ignored? The choice is yours. And when you choose to embody that higher state, when you decide to live in alignment with your deepest truth, you will notice something extraordinary. The person you desire will no longer feel distant. They will feel drawn, pulled by a force greater than logic, because you have become the kind of presence that is impossible to overlook. The attraction you seek is not built in grand gestures or dramatic confessions, but in the subtle power of alignment. People are not drawn to those who try the hardest to impress. They are drawn to those who live in harmony with themselves. When you are consistent in your energy, when your words, actions, and intentions flow together, you create trust. And trust is the foundation of all connection. The person you want will feel this alignment as clarity, as confidence, as a quiet force that makes them curious to know more. So many people sabotage attraction by sending mixed signals. They say they are confident, but their actions reveal desperation. They say they are patient, but their energy radiates urgency. They say they know their worth, yet they settle for crumbs of attention. These contradictions weaken attraction because they create confusion. Human beings are wired to avoid confusion. We are drawn to what feels clear and certain. This is why your alignment is everything. When your energy matches your intentions, you become irresistible. Your specific person may not be able to explain it, but they will feel safe, intrigued, and compelled in your presence. Think of alignment as your strongest magnet. When you say you are worthy and act like you are worthy, that belief vibrates outward. When you say you are patient and your energy is calm, that steadiness becomes undeniable. When you say you are enough and treat yourself as enough, the world mirrors that truth back to you. Attraction is not just about being noticed, it is about being remembered. And people remember the ones whose energy is clear, steady, and aligned. This is where inner discipline becomes essential. Discipline is not about forcing yourself into rigid control. It is about choosing consistency in the face of doubt. It is the decision to hold your standard high, even when fear tempts you to settle. It is the choice to act with calm confidence, even when silence feels unbearable. Every time you choose alignment over reaction, you strengthen your magnetism. You show the universe and the person you desire that your energy cannot be shaken. And this strength does not push people away. It draws them closer. The truth is, your specific person is not searching for perfection. They are searching for certainty. They want to feel that when they connect with you, they are stepping into something real, something solid, something alive. When you embody alignment, you give them that. You become a steady presence in a world filled with inconsistency. You become the clarity they didn't even know they were searching for. And once someone experiences that kind of energy, it becomes unforgettable. So ask yourself if your current energy matches the love you want to receive. Are your thoughts aligned with your actions? Are your intentions aligned with your emotions? Are you sending out a signal of certainty or a signal of fear? The more you align, the more magnetic you become. And soon, you will see how alignment changes everything. Not by forcing attraction, but by creating a field so strong, so consistent, that the specific person you desire cannot help but be pulled toward you, not out of pressure, but out of pure, undeniable connection. The force of attraction becomes unstoppable when you understand the role of focus. Where your attention goes, your energy flows. If your mind is constantly filled with thoughts of lack, fear, and waiting, you amplify the very distance you want to close. But when you shift your focus toward the reality you want to live in, your energy begins to shape itself around that vision. Your brain does not know the difference between what you imagine vividly and what you experience physically. The more you focus on the version of you who is already loved, already chosen, already magnetic, the more natural it becomes for your actions, your emotions, and your presence to align with that state. Psychologists call this the power of visualization, but it is more than just daydreaming. It is rehearsal for your future. Elite athletes use this principle to win championships. They see themselves succeeding before it happens, and their bodies respond as if it is already real. The same principle works in attraction. When you repeatedly see yourself as confident, as loved, as admired by the specific person you desire, you train your mind and body to act as if it is already true. And when you embody that truth, others cannot help but respond to it. But focus is not only about vision, it is also about elimination. Every time you dwell on fear, on doubt, on what is missing, you weaken your magnet. You must be ruthless with where you place your attention because your energy follows. Feed fear and you radiate uncertainty. Feed confidence and you radiate strength. Feed longing and you radiate lack. Feed abundance and you radiate wholeness. The person you want will feel the difference instantly. Attraction is less about what you say and more about the energy you bring into every interaction. So begin to live as though what you desire is already here. Carry yourself as the version of you who has already been chosen. Walk into every room as though your presence already matters, because it does. Speak with the conviction of someone who knows their value, not someone who is still hoping to be seen. When you hold this focus, you reprogram the way people experience you, and the one you long for will begin to notice a shift they cannot ignore. They may not understand why they feel different around you, but they will. This is not about pretending, it is about becoming. It is about aligning so deeply with your worth and your vision that you stop waiting and start living. The more you embody this state, the more magnetic you become, not just to one person, but to life itself. Opportunities, connections, admiration, all flow more freely to those who walk as if they already have what they desire. That is the secret of focus. It turns waiting into becoming, longing into embodying, and desire into reality. So choose now what you will feed with your attention. Choose whether you will invest your energy in fear or in certainty and lack, or in love, in doubt, or in belief. Because whatever you focus on expands, and when you focus on the truth of your worth, the person you want will not only feel it, they will be drawn to it irresistibly, as if pulled by a force greater than themselves. The energy of attraction strengthens when you learn the art of detachment. Detachment does not mean you stop caring, nor does it mean you give up on what you want. It means you release the heavy grip of neediness and trust the natural flow of connection. When you cling, you signal fear. When you chase, you signal lack. But when you allow, when you trust, when you stand steady in your own worth, you create a magnetic pull that cannot be resisted. The paradox is that the less you try to force someone to notice you, the more space you give them to feel drawn to you. Psychology proves that human beings value what feels free and authentic. When someone senses desperation, their instinct is to pull away, not because they don't see value, but because pressure creates resistance. Attraction needs room to breathe. Detachment creates that room. It is the energy that says, I know my worth, and I do not need to prove it. It is the quiet confidence that allows others to step toward you without fear of being consumed. The person you want will feel safer, lighter, and more curious in your presence when you carry this energy. Detachment also frees your mind. When you are no longer obsessing over every word, every look, every moment of silence, you reclaim your power. Instead of shrinking, you expand. Instead of waiting, you live. This expansion is what makes you magnetic. Your life becomes fuller, richer, brighter, and as it does, the specific person you desire cannot help but notice the glow. They feel drawn not only to you, but to the life you are creating around you. A life that does not depend on their attention, but that becomes more attractive because it thrives on its own. This is where true magnetism is born, when your happiness is not tied to whether or not they choose you. When you stand in joy, in purpose, and fulfillment, you radiate an energy that calls others closer. The specific person you want will sense the freedom in your presence. They will feel the difference between someone who needs them to feel whole and someone who is already whole, yet chooses to share their light. That choice, that wholeness, is what makes connection irresistible. Let go of the fear of loss. Let go of the urge to control every outcome. The more you release, the stronger your pull becomes. Detachment is not the absence of desire. It is the presence of trust. It is the decision to believe that what is meant for you will never pass you by and that your worth is never diminished by someone else's delay in seeing it. This belief creates calm, and calm is magnetic. So breathe deeply into your own power, stand tall in your own value, live fully in your own joy, and watch how the energy shifts. Watch how the person you desire begins to notice without knowing why. Watch how your presence grows heavier, stronger, unforgettable. Because when you stop clinging, when you stop begging, when you stop doubting, you step into the kind of energy that draws love effortlessly, the energy that says, I am whole, I am enough, and what is meant for me is already on its way. Detachment creates space, but it is self-belief that fills that space with power. When you believe in yourself, you stop waiting for someone else to validate you. You stop searching for proof outside and begin to live as proof within. Self-belief is not arrogance. It is alignment with truth. It is the unshakable knowing that you are worthy of love, worthy of respect, worthy of being chosen. The energy of that belief is undeniable, and it speaks louder than any words you could say. The human mind responds to certainty. People trust those who trust themselves. When you walk into a room with quiet confidence, when you carry yourself as though your value is unquestionable, others feel it instantly. They don't need convincing, they simply sense it. This is why self-belief is magnetic. It bypasses logic and reaches directly into the subconscious of those around you. The person you desire will feel this shift deeply. They may not be able to explain it, but they will notice that being around you feels different. It feels steady. It feels strong. It feels safe. But self-belief must be cultivated daily. It cannot be a mask you wear only when you want to impress. It must be the truth you breathe into every thought, every action, every decision. Every time you honor your own needs, you strengthen belief. Every time you set a boundary, you strengthen belief. Every time you choose not to settle for less, you strengthen belief. And with each repetition, your energy becomes heavier, more powerful, more magnetic. Attraction is not built in one dramatic moment. It is built in the consistency of who you become. Many sabotage themselves by focusing on what they lack. They think, if only I had this, if only they noticed me, if only I was different. But lack creates weakness. Self-belief turns lack into abundance. It says, I already carry everything within me to be loved. And when you believe that, your actions, your tone, your energy all reflect it. That reflection is what others respond to. It is why some people seem to effortlessly attract attention while others remain invisible. The difference is not luck, it is belief. Imagine the version of you who no longer questions your value. The version of you who does not chase approval, who does not beg for attention, who does not crumble at rejection. Imagine walking through life as though you already know that you are enough because you are. That version of you exists now, waiting for you to choose it. The moment you decide to live from that truth, your energy shifts, and so does everything around you. Your specific person is not seeking someone perfect. They are seeking someone real, someone powerful, someone who carries themselves with a quiet knowing that says, I am worthy of love, and I do not need to prove it. That kind of energy cannot be ignored. It is felt deeply. It is remembered. It is admired. And when you embody it fully, the person you desire will not only notice you, they will feel drawn, pulled, compelled toward you in a way that feels natural, inevitable, and unshakable, because belief in yourself is the foundation of every connection, and once you build it, nothing can take it away. Self-belief becomes unshakable when it is reinforced by action. Thoughts alone are powerful, but when thoughts align with consistent behavior, they create evidence. And evidence is what convinces both your conscious and subconscious mind that your worth is real. Every small action you take to honor yourself builds a foundation of certainty. Every time you choose growth over comfort, every time you say no to what diminishes you, every time you invest in your own future, you strengthen the signal that radiates from within. That signal cannot be faked, and it cannot be hidden. It is felt. The person you desire is not just responding to how you look or what you say. They are responding to the life you are creating. People are drawn to those who are in motion, to those who are building something greater, to those who embody progress. Stagnation repels, but growth attracts. When you commit to your own path, your own goals, your own vision, you generate momentum. And momentum is magnetic. The more you invest in yourself, the more your energy expands. And the more it expands, the more impossible it becomes to overlook. This is why confidence is not built in silence. It is built in daily discipline. It is the way you carry yourself, the way you speak to yourself, the way you follow through on promises you make to yourself. Confidence is born when you prove to yourself again and again that you can be trusted. And once you trust yourself, others naturally trust you. Your specific person will feel this trust. They will notice that you are not waiting for them to complete your story. You are writing it already. That independence does not push love away. It makes it irresistible. Because nothing is more attractive than someone who is whole within themselves, yet open to share that wholeness. Think of how energy shifts when you live with purpose. Your presence becomes heavier, more grounded, more unforgettable. You are no longer the one waiting for attention. You are the one creating a life so radiant that attention follows naturally. Your worth is not spoken, it is lived. And the more you live it, the more the world mirrors it back to you. The person you long for will not see someone desperate to be chosen. They will see someone already chosen by themselves, already validated from within, already standing in their power. That is the energy that awakens desire. Every step you take toward becoming the strongest version of yourself amplifies your magnetic pull. Every choice to honor your worth raises your frequency. Every time you act in alignment with your vision, you deepen the attraction around you. Attraction is not a mystery. It is the natural consequence of inner strength expressed outwardly. And when your inner strength becomes undeniable, the connection you seek becomes inevitable. So let your actions speak as loudly as your thoughts. Let your daily choices declare your worth before you ever open your mouth. Let your life itself become the evidence of your value. Because when you live this way, the person you desire will not just see you differently, they will feel you differently. They will experience a presence that is steady, powerful, and unforgettable. And in that presence, attraction is no longer a possibility. It becomes certainty. When your actions align with self-belief, you begin to embody a presence that feels rare. This presence cannot be faked because it is rooted in truth. People are instinctively drawn to authenticity, and they can sense when someone is living in integrity with themselves. The person you desire will feel this difference the moment you stop trying to impress and start simply being. Being whole, being confident, being real. That is the kind of energy that lingers in someone's mind long after you've left the room. Attraction is not about proving your value. It is about living it so consistently that others cannot deny it. The more you embody your worth, the more natural it becomes for others to treat you as valuable. Your energy sets the standard. When you carry yourself with quiet certainty, you send a message without speaking. This is who I am, and this is what I deserve. That message penetrates deeper than any words ever could. It is felt on an unconscious level where true attraction is formed. This is why the most magnetic people are often the most grounded. They are not chasing approval. They are not begging for attention. They are not bending themselves into shapes to be liked. They are steady, centered, and whole. And it is this steadiness that allows others to feel safe, curious, and captivated around them. The person you want is not searching for someone perfect. They are searching for someone real. Someone who stands strong in their own truth, someone whose energy communicates love without desperation. The more you step into this alignment, the more your life expands. Opportunities appear, new people are drawn to you, respect grows, and with that expansion, something shifts inside the person you desire. They begin to see you differently, not as someone waiting for love, but as someone already overflowing with it. That shift changes everything. Because attraction does not grow in scarcity, it grows in abundance. When you overflow with confidence, self-love, and certainty, others want to be near you. They want to experience what you radiate. But remember, abundance begins in your own mind. It is the choice to focus on what you have rather than what you lack. It is the decision to walk in gratitude rather than in need. Gratitude is magnetic because it signals completeness. When you live with gratitude, you radiate peace. And when you radiate peace, others feel pulled toward you because peace is rare and deeply desired. The person you want will be drawn not only to what you say or do, but to the atmosphere you create simply by existing in gratitude and abundance. Every thought you choose, every word you speak, every action you take contributes to the signal you are sending. You cannot hide that signal. It is felt everywhere you go. So let your signal be clear. Let it be strong. Let it be rooted in self-belief and abundance, because when you live this way, you stop wondering if you are enough. You stop waiting for permission to be chosen. You begin to embody the undeniable truth that you are already valuable, already magnetic, already worthy of the love you desire. And the one you long for will feel that truth in every moment they are near you, until being drawn to you is no longer a choice, but a natural response to the power you have become. True attraction is born when your inner world and outer world move in harmony. When your thoughts, emotions, and actions all point in the same direction, you emit a frequency that others cannot ignore. The specific person you long for feels that alignment even before you speak. It shows in your posture, in your eyes, in the calmness of your presence. You become someone who radiates clarity instead of confusion, certainty instead of doubt, abundance instead of lack. And that shift is what transforms you from someone wishing for connection into someone who naturally draws it. Every human being is wired to seek alignment. We are pulled toward what feels consistent, stable, and trustworthy. When you waver, when your words and your energy don't match, others sense it instantly. But when you are aligned within yourself, you project stability, and stability is deeply attractive. It tells the subconscious mind of the other person that you are safe, that you are reliable, that you are someone worth investing in. The pull is not logical, it is instinctive. It bypasses the surface and speaks directly to the deepest layers of human psychology. This is why you must choose to live as if the love you desire is already yours, not in pretense, not in illusion, but in vibration. When you carry yourself as someone already chosen, already loved, already secure, you release the desperation that repels and step into the abundance that attracts. The person you want begins to sense that being with you is not about filling a void. It is about joining a life that is already rich, full, and overflowing. That feeling awakens desire because people want to step into abundance, not scarcity. Your emotions are the fuel behind this attraction. If your energy is rooted in fear, doubt, or need, it creates resistance. But if your energy is rooted in joy, confidence, and faith, it creates flow. That flow is felt in your tone, in your silence, in the way you move through the world. You do not have to announce it because energy speaks louder than words. And when your energy says, I am already whole, I am already enough, I am already love, it calls others to rise to meet you. This is not about pretending to be someone else. It is about returning to the truth of who you are when you strip away the doubts, the insecurities, the fears. Beneath all of it is a self that is powerful, radiant, and magnetic. That self does not chase, it attracts. That self does not beg, it commands attention simply by existing. That self is already within you, waiting to be fully claimed and expressed as you step into this truth. The specific person you desire begins to experience you differently. They feel lighter around you, more inspired, more open, more alive. You become not just someone they notice, but someone they cannot stop thinking about, not because of what you say, but because of who you are being. You have shifted from hoping to be chosen into embodying someone who is already chosen, already worthy, already love itself. And in that embodiment, attraction stops being an effort. It becomes effortless. It becomes inevitable. It becomes your reality. The energy you embody is a mirror, and the world reflects it back to you with precision. When you live from fullness, the person you desire cannot help but notice that glow. It is not about forcing attention. It is about creating an undeniable pull that comes from within. Think about how the sun does not chase the earth, yet everything orbits around its light. In the same way, when you step fully into your radiance, the one you long for begins to feel the gravity of your presence. They may not even understand why, but they are drawn closer, curious, compelled, unable to ignore the shift. Attraction is not a game of control, it is a dance of energy. When you grasp, when you cling, when you fear losing, the energy becomes heavy. It pushes away what you most want. But when you let go of the need to prove yourself and instead rest in your wholeness, you create space. And in that space, the other person feels freedom. They feel safe to approach, safe to connect, safe to open their heart. That freedom is what keeps love alive, and it begins with your decision to trust that you are enough. The human brain is wired to respond to emotion, not logic. The specific person you desire may hear your words, but it is the emotions beneath those words that stay with them. If you speak from fear, they feel resistance. If you speak from longing, they feel pressure. But if you speak or even remain silent from a place of confidence, joy, and certainty, they feel possibility. That possibility plants seeds in their mind, seeds that grow into curiosity, attraction, and desire. You do not need to force the growth. You only need to be the fertile ground in which it naturally unfolds. This is why emotional mastery is your greatest power. The ability to regulate your state, to choose calm over chaos, to radiate peace instead of panic, is what separates those who chase from those who attract. Every moment you center yourself, you are strengthening your signal. Every time you replace doubt with faith, you are amplifying your frequency. Every time you choose gratitude over lack, you are turning yourself into a magnet for the very person you want. Attraction is not about chance. It is about alignment, and alignment comes from mastering your inner world. Imagine the impact of consistently embodying this state. Imagine the person you desire, noticing that you no longer carry the energy of fear, but the energy of love. Imagine them feeling lighter in your presence, more at ease, more alive, simply because you have chosen to embody peace. That is the invisible gift you give when you master yourself. You become unforgettable, not because of what you say or do, but because of how you make them feel. And what they feel with you is rare. They feel freedom, they feel possibility, they feel love without conditions. That is the kind of presence people cannot walk away from. You are not chasing them. You are awakening them. You are awakening their recognition of something powerful, something real, something magnetic that pulls them toward you. And the deeper you step into that truth, the more natural it becomes. Attraction stops being about effort and turns into resonance. You vibrate at love, and love responds. You vibrate at confidence, and confidence answers. You vibrate at certainty, and certainty becomes reality. Then the specific person you long for begins to meet you in that place, drawn not by force, but by the undeniable power of who you have become. The mind is constantly creating, whether you are aware of it or not. Every thought you repeat, every image you dwell on, every emotion you feed is shaping the reality you live. This is not mystical. It is the way the brain works. Neural pathways strengthen with repetition, and what you focus on becomes easier for your mind to expect. Expectation is powerful because it influences behavior, and behavior is what others feel from you, even without words. If you expect rejection, your energy carries tension. If you expect acceptance, your energy carries warmth. And the person you desire cannot help but respond to what your energy communicates before you ever speak. This is why it is vital to train your focus. Your attention is the steering wheel of your life. And if you let it wander toward fear, doubt, or impatience, you drift further from what you want. But when you deliberately guide it toward love, gratitude, and possibility, you create momentum. You begin to notice opportunities instead of obstacles. You find reasons to believe instead of excuses to quit. You shift from waiting for something to happen to knowing that it is already unfolding in your favor. That shift is magnetic because the world mirrors what you expect. Think about how you feel when you are around someone who radiates certainty. There is no desperation in them, no need to convince, no effort to control. Their calmness is attractive. Their belief is contagious. You naturally want to lean in, to trust them, to be close to that energy. This is exactly what happens when you train your mind to focus on the reality you want instead of the fears you don't. The person you desire will feel that stability in you. They will feel that safety, and it will spark a comfort that grows into attraction. But focus is not only about keeping your thoughts positive, it is about consistency. One moment of belief followed by hours of doubt is like planting a seed and then uprooting it again and again. Nothing grows in soil that is constantly disturbed. What grows is what you water with patience, repetition, and care. When you hold a vision of connection with your person and feed it with steady gratitude, you are creating roots. The deeper the roots, the stronger the reality that emerges. Your consistency tells the universe, tells your subconscious, and tells the energy around you that you are serious. And seriousness creates results. There will be moments when the old thoughts return, when fear knocks on the door of your mind, when doubt whispers that nothing is happening, but those moments are not signs of failure. They are opportunities for power. Every time you redirect your focus, you strengthen your ability to choose. Every time you refuse to water the weeds of doubt, you reinforce the flowers of belief. This is the discipline that transforms people from wishers into creators. And the more you practice it, the more natural it becomes until focus itself feels effortless. You are not waiting for your specific person to choose you. You are aligning with the version of you who has already been chosen. That version of you thinks differently. That version of you feels differently. That version of you carries an energy that is undeniable. And as you hold that focus, as you live from that vision, you step into the reality where attraction is not a hope, but a fact. The person you desire begins to feel it, to sense it, to recognize it, and the gap between thought and experience dissolves. You are no longer chasing a dream. You are living it into being moment by moment, thought by thought, until it becomes real.